Hello lovely people, welcome to the video. My name's Athena. I'm a writer working on my second project, Boss Homeschooling My Two Girls and Me Within 24/7. I am currently starting draft 2 of my speculative romance going by the name Project Memories. It's all about the memories. So, quick update as to what I have done so far. It is the 1st of August officially today, and that was the day I wanted to start draft 2. Technically, I did start it 2 days ago, but I've been floundering so much. I'm like, can I even count those 2 days as drafting days? Anyway, so what I have done since the 17th of July when I finished draft 1, I printed out the draft, I read through it, made notes of my own. I'm adding a handful of new scenes. I'm adding some new information, shifting, changing, like I'm doing all the things. So I had initially thought I would send draft 1 out to be read by other people. I sent it to my mom, that's about it. I did send the first 10 pages actually. Meredith E. Phillips here on YouTube. She's absolutely amazing. I adore her. Her feedback just, if anything, it was a bit of a proof of concept, a bit of a boost as to like, this is what agents and publishers are looking for. I mean, going in the right direction. So I'm happy about that. What else I did? I set up a timeline. I have decided that this whole thing is happening in 1 month. The whole story is happening in 1 month. Which is really fun in the summertime. I also set up my, I love this notebook. I love this notebook. It's just look at that. Is it? Okay, interruption number like 1 out of 1,000 of the day, as per usual. So I was just saying, I really love this notebook. It's so beautiful. I love the color and the gold and anyway, this is my notebook for anything to do with my project. So I have like the drafts, when I started them, how many words, all that fun stuff. I have my little, like my characters color-coded, etc. here. I set up, look at that. I set up all my scenes. So I decided to go with tracking scenes at this point because some chapters have 2 scenes. I think there's like one that has 3 even, and some have just 1. So if I went with chapters, I just feel like I need to be able to just tick as often as possible to kind of show myself that I'm making progress. So I have that set up. I have my timeline set up. I have all notes have been transferred into Scrivener. That took longer than I expected it to take, and that's probably what dragged because things just kept happening. I just had like things happening and things I had to deal with and tackle. Anyway, that is all done. I started kind of drafting. I started revising. I jumped into the draft, started draft 1. And I've technically tackled the first chapter. The first scene is 1 scene only, so chapter 1 is technically done, but I feel like I need to go over it again. I don't know. The first chapter always scares me, I have to say. Even though I'm telling myself that I have set certain rules when it comes to this project and all projects moving forward, where number 1, I refuse to over-edit. I will not over-edit. I need to add what needs to be added, edit it to the point where like, I'm feeling the emotion, I'm feeling connected to the scene, and then just letting it be. Because the more you edit, the more like, yeah, I'm not gonna over edit. I need to stop myself after a point. So, you know, it just depends. And then I spent a lot of time floundering over the next chapter, the next scene, just kind of, I don't know. I was trying to figure out how to go about it because this scene has a lot of notes. I think generally chapter 1 has 2 scenes, and those 2 scenes have probably the most notes throughout the entire draft, through the entire manuscript. So, starting with the big guns. So, I think I figured out how to go into it. We shall see how that goes today. But it's not easy. Anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna grab my laptop and go sit outside. Probably the girls are playing outside for a bit. It's a sunny day, it's a cold day, but it's sunny and it's nice. And I think I need that slight change of just outdoor, if only to just kind of get my mind starting to, you know, I don't know, think about the story, get into the how to change it, how to add what I want to add. Project Memories is officially in draft 2 mode. We are writing draft 2, and that is very exciting. I was looking through my videos on YouTube and I'm like, I might not have like a bazillion views and I might not have a bazillion followers, but what I do have is actual videos of me finishing drafts and starting new drafts and finishing my books and I don't know. It was really amazing to see that I have like a trail of what I've done and proof that I've done stuff, you know? Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I'm gonna grab my laptop and I'm gonna head outside. The whole point of transferring notes and whatnot to my Scrivener document is I don't need to take anything else with me outside right now. I just need to take my laptop and I can sit down and get to work. So that's kind of the general consensus. I mean my timeline I'm gonna fix as I'm going. I know what I am doing. There's a lot of scenes, like one scene happens, they happen one day after the other, and then yeah. Okay, there's still, yeah, by the time I get to that, good gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna go start doing some writing outside probably, and I will update you guys hopefully soon as to like how much I've done. I don't even know. It's Saturday today. Hubby is working today. He's probably gonna be working tomorrow and Monday, but he also had an accident with his eye. One of the multiple things that happened over the past few days but he's okay now, so he's kind of 50-50 really, but he's getting better and he had to go to work, so that was the thing. Anyway, moving on. I'm gonna go and get some writing done and update you guys very soon. Hopefully that I'm done with scene number 2, like the first scene in chapter 1. Okay, let's do chapter 2. What am I even? Chapter 1 is technically done. I might just read through it and just, you know, give myself one final read before I tick it as done for now. Done before it goes to beta readers. That's pretty much what I'm, like, the goal at this point is, because I don't think I even mentioned my goals. I'm all over the place. I apologize. The goal at this point is I am tackling draft 2. Draft 2 will be going to beta readers. I am telling myself that the realistic completion date would be the end of September. I want to get as much done as possible by the end of August. Kind of like I did the previous one where I was like, I need to get as much done as possible by like the early July, whatever. I want to get as much done as possible by the end of August. And then I'll kind of like reevaluate, whatever, see how we go. I feel like querying and just everything publishing right now is really slow. Like my query responses for my other project are just like non-existent. They're just kind of hanging on there. So in my head, that kind of creates a deadline of sorts. Like it's not really a deadline in regards to my new book, but it's just like a made up deadline that kind of clicks for whatever reason. So we're sticking with it. I'm gonna get as much done as possible by the end of August. We are now gonna tackle chapter 2, the first scene in chapter 2. That is what I want to be done with by the time I update you guys. I have no idea if that's gonna be a thing. Let's do this. The lighting is terrible, but I digress. So it is almost 6 p.m. Late time update. Quick update, hubby is finally on his way home. I finished the first scene in chapter 2 and I've actually started tackling the second scene in chapter 2 as well. I added 1,000 words in the previous scene. So I am very happy for the wiggle room in word count. That is all I will say to that. So I might do a little bit more work in this scene right now, but I do have to go tackle dinner and just all the things anyway, so I might call it a night at this point. We shall see tomorrow. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, that's the update for tonight, and we're making progress. Good morning. So it is Sunday morning, the 2nd of August, and as I said last night, I technically finished scene 1 of chapter 2. Technically because I'm itching to go over it again. I said I wouldn't over edit, but my brain is just kind of like, you know, I definitely need to force myself to keep moving forward. It's just, I'm so terrified that I overdid it or something. I don't know. Anyway, I did kind of slip into the second scene in chapter 2, and I've added a whole bunch of like interiority and reflection and whatnot. I'm definitely gonna have to edit that down, but it's more of I've finally found my rhythm when it comes to revisions and how I want to go about them, which is basically I will go through the scene, tackling the notes that I have added into the scene in a draft 1 fashion and just kind of drafting it out, just responding to these notes, basically tackling the notes in the first draft version. And then I will go back over and edit the entire scene with the note age, like without the notes in the page, right? So that makes more sense that way, because as I'm reading it with the notes, I kind of stop at each note, like I'm not really going through the entire scene. So I will tackle each note and then I'll go back and read the whole thing and edit the whole thing. So because I have like a huge chunk of just blue text, and I do change the color when I'm revising in Scrivener. I like choosing a different color for each draft. I'm currently going with light blue. Usually it says red for the first like revision. I don't like the idea of having like blocks of red text, because honestly I've added so much to these scenes that, yeah. Did I mention yesterday? I totally did, but I will mention it again 100 more times as we move forward. I'm very happy I have wiggle room with word count, because it's looking like I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need it. So it is 11 o'clock. I should have been working sooner, but as always, I wake up with the best of intentions, and then life happens, and then, you know, I got sidetracked by sending another query. I have sent like another, I was gonna be done with querying, and then I realized I probably messed up like with my not edited pages, because I am quite sure that the new pages were better. I may have lost quite a few opportunities initially in my initial journey, and so there are a lot of agents that I had in my list that have opened just now. They were never opened throughout my entire querying journey since March. So I'm like, why not? Why not? Because the reality is this: a lot of people say don't burn through your entire query list, because then you won't be able to requery the project if you want to do it, like query again in the future if you make changes. The way I see it right now, and this is like a quick little update on querying randomly, the way I see it is, if I do requery this project, like if it doesn't go anywhere and I do end up requerying the project in the future, like if the one I'm working on doesn't go anywhere, etc., I would rework it completely. Like I would rework my main character's arc completely, like what she wants, her motivations, everything, the whole shebang. It would be a very different story, a very different query letter. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And by the time I do get to it, considering I'm working on this book right now, my speculative romance, I'm working on Project Memories. I then have Project Veil, which is going to be the next one I would work on if so once Project Memories is in the query trenches. Okay, let's get a bit meta here. let's get a bit like, so if Project Stones fails in the query trenches right now, like if I decide that I'm pulling it and it's done, Project Memories goes into the query trenches, and then I'm working on Project Veil, so that if Project Memories doesn't go anywhere in the query trenches, then Project Veil is going into the query trenches. So technically it won't be another at least 2 to 3 years before I'm even, so get it? Okay, so I need to get to it. Okay, Project Memories, we are focusing on speculative romance. So on my laptop, I have now switched to working on my laptop, because that's just what happens with revision. I don't know, I feel more, plus I'm able to move around. I did a bit of writing outside yesterday. I did a bit of writing at the kitchen table. I have to say, with revisions, I found this happened a lot with my synopsis and my query letter as well. I like writing at the kitchen table. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Anyway, I'm gonna jump in and tackle the second scene in chapter 2. Hopefully the next update for you guys will be me being done with chapter 2. Okay. We're currently like, it's a bit of a, like, she's kind of going over certain things that have happened, and we're getting some more information. We're getting a little push now finally, and it's her decision to kind of move into where she has to go, you know? Okay, fun times. Oh, look like a lovely mess. Okay, so I have no idea what this whole vlog has been. I'm going to do a quick update and then end it here, and then start a new one for this week. That's the general idea, general plan. Don't know if it'll actually do it. It is Monday. It is the 3rd of August, and I ended yesterday with, I practically finished all the notes in scene 2 of chapter 2. So what I would have to do today is just read through it, do that like another pass of the noteless scene now. So it's all written in there. The words, just for fun, just for funsies, I will be talking about this in the next video. Just for funsies, the scene itself started at 2,184 words, like a draft 1 version, and it is currently sitting at 3,418. Definitely went to town on this one. I am very happy that my word count was low enough to allow me to just comfortably just add what I want to add. That is all I will say about that. Also, I gave a small update in the previous clip yesterday, basically talking about my querying and whatnot with Project Stones. I got hit with 4 rejections in one day after that. Just one after the other. They just I'm like, is this a sign that I need to move on? Yeah, no, I think I'm just gonna let it do its thing and then call it in September. My battery's flashing. I will take that as a sign that this video needs to end, and I will start a new vlog for this week. But that is, we have started draft 2 officially. So let's keep on going, shall we? I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.